What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Napoleon Hogan's Ministry. Today we are in chapter 21 of our 21 days in Proverbs, 21 days in Proverbs, 21 days in March. This was a really good chapter. Honestly, they've all been really, really good. So the overview of this chapter is very similar with the rest of Proverbs, especially the last 2 days we've done. But basically, it actually covers a variety of topics, right? Conditions of the heart, all the way to relationships, all the way to your words. It even has a couple verses on the troubles of a nagging wife. Proverbs is not politically correct. Just giving you a heads up. So there were several verses that stood out to me. I've only grabbed a handful of them because I don't want to be here all day. So verse 3 is the first one that stood out to me. It says, "Doing what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice." That's pretty simple. Other translations will say, obedience is better than sacrifice. Basically, God just wants you to do what's right, not do what's wrong and then ask for forgiveness later. He definitely wants you to ask for forgiveness, but he prefer you just do what's right. Okay, verse 5 says, "The plans of the diligent certainly lead to profit, but anyone who is reckless certainly becomes poor." That goes back to the verse we were talking about yesterday. I believe it was yesterday, where I was talking about zeal without knowledge and how that's not a good thing. This reminds me very much of that. Verse 6, "Making a fortune through a lying tongue is a vanishing mist and a pursuit of death." Wow. So basically what it's saying is if you're trying to get rich through lying and deceiving other people, you are literally pursuing death. Verse 11, "When a mocker is punished, the inexperienced become wiser. When one teaches a wise man, he acquires knowledge. Justice executed is a joy to the righteous, but a terror to evildoers." So that's basically what that is saying. It's pretty straightforward. Those who are teachable will learn from the mistakes of others. Those who are not will not. Those who are doing wrong definitely do not want others doing wrong getting caught, because it means they're going to get caught. So if you see a bunch of people whining and complaining because bad people are getting caught, it's because they're doing something wrong. They're trying to hide something too. Okay, so verse 16 says, "The person who strays from the way of prudence will come to rest in the assembly of the departed spirits." Basically meaning like hell. If you're going to die. If you leave prudence, which is wisdom and positive action, then you're going to find yourself in a very, very bad situation. Okay, so verse 19, I just thought was funny. Obviously, I've read these verses a bunch of times throughout my life. Just thought it's funny. So verse 19 says, "Better to live in a wilderness than with a nagging and hot-tempered wife." Verse 20, "Precious treasures and oil are in the dwelling of a wise person, but a fool consumes them." So basically meaning, other translations will say that in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a fool devours all that he has. So basically what that's saying is wise people don't consume everything they have at once. They store some, they save some, and they also have resources for later, either for themselves or to give away. While a fool just consumes everything that they have without thinking, without going through it. That could also be described as a glutton. It doesn't have to be just related to food. It could be related to your finance. You could be a financial glutton, a relational glutton. You can have a whole lot of areas in your life where you lack self-control, but that's what this verse means. Verse 22, "A wise person went up against a city of warriors and brought down its secure fortress." Skill without knowledge and wisdom is useless. Skill. Think about that. In any area of your life where you have a skill, but you don't have the wisdom or knowledge on how to apply it, then that skill is useless. Okay, for the last verse, it's verse 23. I thought it was really, really good. So it says, "The one who guards his mouth and tongue keeps himself out of trouble. No wisdom, no understanding, and no counsel will prevail against the Lord." So you cannot outsmart God. No amount of wisdom, no amount of knowledge, no amount of training will prevail against the Lord, will have any effect on him. He's the one that created wisdom and knowledge. All right, well, thank you for joining me today for chapter 21. Put what you got from this chapter in the comments below. I look forward to reading it. Until I'm back with chapter 22, God bless. Peace.